Welcome to episode 2 of the Landed in My Brain podcast, where now I'm going to try to get into more of the things that I know and my experiences and not really talk about myself so much, but I'd like to talk about basketball today. And still, I guess, self-centered of me to, but we're just going to talk about my basketball experiences, what I know about basketball, obviously, and let's get into it. I'd like to start off with I started watching basketball in 2007, 2008 when Kobe Bryant was at the peak of his powers with Pau Gasol and going to the NBA Finals, that 3-year run that he had of just straight NBA Finals runs and 2 championships back to back, actually. Rest in peace, Kobe. He's amazing. And I kind of fell off watching it here and there, and then I got back into it like around 2017. So my knowledge is patchy at best, but I still have big aspirations for myself in the basketball world, so we're going to continue this journey, and I will continue to learn as much as I possibly can. So what I remember is Kobe Bryant trying to win a championship without Shaquille O'Neal, something that Shaquille O'Neal accomplished without Kobe Bryant very quickly. I was born in 2000, so that was obviously the year that the Lakers decided to win a championship. Obviously not decided, but they three-peated, actually, till 2002. I was literally only 2 years old, though, so I don't really remember that. But when I got even just a little bit older and Kobe Bryant was back in the playoff contention with Pau Gasol, it was pretty cool. My parents got me the Kobe Bryant jersey and the matching Lakers basketball shorts. So I was just a little kid looking like I wanted to be on the Lakers, which obviously I did. But I was a little arthritis kid, so that obviously was not happening. But that was really cool seeing Kobe Bryant do that on television, of course. I never went to any games, despite living in Southern California my entire life. Big regret of mine never going to a basketball game, but I will. I will now. Hopefully still in LeBron's playing career, and I can see him in a Lakers home game. We'll see about that though. And yeah, that was really cool. It was devastating to see Paul Pierce and the Celtics actually win in 2008. Being the Los Angeles fan I am, I was like, no, the Lakers just have to win. They just have to. But that didn't work out, and Kobe Bryant was on a revenge spree the second he lost, basically, and was like, you know what? I'm just not going to lose. And he did not. Completely slaughtering the Orlando Magic the following year, who weren't even the source of Kobe Bryant's hate because it was the Boston Celtics, obviously, and they couldn't even make it back to the finals. So, whoop-de-doo. They made it back the next year, though, so Kobe Bryant actually got his revenge the very next year. My favorite thing, and one of my favorite championships to exist, actually. I think that tied the Lakers for Celtics championships. No, actually, I think LeBron's title might have done that. I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah, Kobe Bryant, 5 championships in a career is amazing. Steph Curry and LeBron don't even have 5 championships, and I think maybe either one of them could get one more throughout their career. So that would be cool. I have no idea how that might play out, though. Jokic is a monster and is doing some great things. To date, the recording of this podcast, which I don't really want to, but today's Game 5 of the NBA Finals. The Nuggets are up 3-1, and I'm recording this early in the day, so the game hasn't happened yet. I don't know who won. I'm imagining it's the Denver Nuggets. We'll see, though. Jimmy Butler likes to not lose as well. Getting back to Kobe Bryant, though, yeah, he got his revenge in 2010. Unfortunately, did not get to three-peat in 2011 as Dirk Nowitzki went on like one of the greatest playoff runs of all time, just obliterating everyone in his path. And that was pretty great. And I think that's when I started falling off from watching basketball. but I know that LeBron decided to come out of the woodwork and go to 8 straight NBA Finals from 2011 to 2018, which is incredible. I can't believe he did that. I mean, who else has gone to 8 straight NBA Finals? Bill Russell, Sam Jones. That's about all I can think about on the top of my head. A couple other Celtics players that got to play with Bill Russell for all those years, but that's it. I mean, how do you go to 8 NBA Finals in a row? I mean, Jerry West. I don't know if he went in a row, but I know Jerry West has like 10 Finals appearances. LeBron has now 10 Finals appearances. Bill Russell has like 12. That's insane. Magic Johnson has 9. Kareem has like 10 or 9, I think. That's crazy. Yeah, appreciate greatness. Anyways, yeah, I didn't really get into watching basketball after that, but I kept up with it here and there on social media, so I still know who won the championships and things like that. So yeah, even LeBron couldn't three-peat, which is actually insane. I'm very surprised he hasn't done that, given LeBron's ability. But yeah, even the best of the best can't three-peat. That's how difficult it is. So yeah, 2 championships for LeBron, 2012, 2013. Kawhi basically came out of nowhere and was like, "Yeah, cool, cool run, bro. But now it's my turn." And then he won the Finals MVP in 2014. The Spurs were just Popovich was on some insane coaching, that sequence of years where he had Kawhi, Tim Duncan, and Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili, and basically Pop was like, you know what, I have the best team that I could possibly have. Let's go out there and finally win a championship. And he did it. He fucking did it. And beating one of the best teams, like literally stopping a three-peat from the Miami Heat, which is incredible. Then LeBron's like, you know what? I'm just going to switch teams. I'm going to go back home to Cleveland and win a championship there. And he only won 1 in 4 years, but he literally went to the finals all 4 years. How do you go to the finals 4 years on one team, completely abandon the team, and then still go to the finals 4 years in a row with a brand new team, brand new franchise? That's incredible. Again, amazing. I can't believe that happened. Unfortunately, during this time, Kobe Bryant blew his Achilles, I think, and that was basically the end of his playoff contention in 2013. But Kobe is still Kobe, and retired in 2016 with that 60-point game, of course. Damn, rip Kobe. Miss him. Anyways, I say I miss him like I've met him, but I've never met him. But that's just how polarizing he is. Anyways, yeah, no, that incredible though. Still has more championships than LeBron and Curry, which is also incredible to say. 8 finals in a row. It just goes to show you the how hard it really is. I don't think a single player in the NBA now is going to three-peat. Like, I don't think that's happening. I don't think Steph is going to do it. I don't think LeBron is going to do it. Maybe Jokic. Now that he's coming out of, like, he's now has his first finals appearance, he might win the championship. He's got 2 MVPs already. He's just an obliterating offensive weapon that just wins, basically. Triple-double machine. And maybe, but again, I don't know. Maybe he could win 2 in a row. I give Jokic like 2 in a row. Maybe he can win this year or next year, but there's no way that he wins 3 in a row. I don't think Joel Embiid is doing that. I don't think Kevin Durant is doing that. There's no one in the. I don't even think new people like John Moran or Zion or just even brand new like Victor Wembanyama or Pablo Banchero. Like, that's just not. It's not happening. It's crazy. I have yet to see, like, visually see a three-peat happen, but of course, yeah, the Lakers three-peat happened when I was born. Literally the decade prior, 2 three-peats happened with Michael Jordan. Absolutely insane. Yeah, I don't know how he did that either. He was just, that's crazy 2 three-peats. And I mean, who else? Bill Russell with 11 championships. Yeah, like 8 in a row. Yeah, other than that, I can't think of anyone else three-peating. That's like what, only 4 times? 4 times in the entire 75-year history of the NBA. That's crazy. That's not easy. That's just not easy. But yeah, so that was my look at basketball through those years. 2017 is when I got back into basketball. I had met my 2 friends, Abraham and Alex, who got me really back into basketball. They were into basketball. And so maybe 2019 is when I really started watching NBA games again. I had coworkers that were also watching the NBA games. The finals and the playoffs were happening at the time, and that's when I was like, all right, cool, yeah, I'm down to actually tune in for the games instead of just keeping up through social media. And I've been watching games ever since. Unfortunately for me, my team, the Los Angeles Lakers, I didn't really get to watch them that much on their games because my cable was horrible. But yeah, the 2020 Lakers actually win the championship. Unfortunately, it's in the bubble and everyone likes to discredit it, but I will not discredit it, not just because I am a Laker fan, but because I think the bubble was actually harder to win a championship. But we'll get into that later. That was really cool to see though. Was that happen and see the Lakers win another championship, especially for Kobe. Again, rest in peace, Kobe. I'm gonna probably say that like a million times this podcast because that man is just has such an impact on me and my generation. Apparently, that just is insane. It's just an absolute amazing impact that he has left on all of us. And back to the actual NBA specifically. So 2017, I started watching again. That was after LeBron just came back from a 3-1 deficit in 2016 against the Warriors, and that was insane. Still can't believe he did that. That's like worth 2 championships. Like that's just crazy. Obviously, it's not worth 2 championships. I'm not actually saying that, but I just think that it's so career defining that it's crazy. It's worth more than just saying, hey, we won a championship. So that's pretty cool. But then in 2017, Kevin Durant joined the Warriors and made the West lopsided. And just, I mean, who was beating the Kevin Durant Warriors? James Harden came pretty close, actually, not even going to lie. James Harden and Chris Paul. They, if they just had hit some of those 27 threes that they decided to miss, they might have done it. But no, that did not happen. The Kevin Durant Warriors almost three-peated, but Kawhi came again to stop that three-peat as well. Maybe he just hates three-peats. I don't know. But yeah, he not only did he just stop LeBron from three-peating, he also decided to stop the Kevin Durant Warriors from three-peating, which is also crazy. Yeah, some injuries kind of helped him along the way, but I wouldn't discredit that championship from Kawhi. That's just crazy. I mean, traded from the Spurs to the Raptors, and in that same season, boom, championship, and then to just go away to the Los Angeles Clippers the very next year is crazy. Damn, hasn't won since though. So I think the Los Angeles Clippers are a cursed franchise, but maybe that's because of the previous owner. Maybe the new owner can change that. I don't know, but Lakers all the way. So yeah, basically LeBron is not winning against the Kevin Durant Warriors unless he gets someone like Kevin Durant on his team, which the Cavaliers could not do. Definitely, the Cleveland Cavaliers could not do that. Not enough assets or anything. But it was still cool to see LeBron James just obliterate everyone in his path in the East and just be like, no, I'm going to win a championship. I don't even care how tough the Kevin Durant Warriors are. And just single-handedly willed his team to the finals every single year. I don't know how he did it. Crazy. So, yeah, that was my, like me keeping up with the basketball here and there. But then I started watching a lot during after the 2019 finals, after Kawhi had won his championship against the Warriors, and I was like, wow, And so the Bucks and the Lakers were the number 1 seed in the 2020 season before the bubble happened, before COVID happened, and that was pretty cool. I was very excited to see the Lakers win like this. I was like, wow, LeBron is not just because he got injured in 2019, he missed the finals, but like he literally still made it to the finals all over again in 2020 and still won a championship against the Miami, almost the same Miami Heat team that is in the finals today, which is pretty crazy. That's pretty cool. So yeah, a lot of people discredit the bubble, but I will not. I think the bubble ended up being the two people that wanted to stay there the most, being Jimmy Butler and LeBron James. And I think the other NBA players or other teams may have just wanted to go home. May just have been like, you know what, man, this is just a lost season. You know what, just go home. I'm not saying that to like again discredit. I just it's difficult. I mean, you were literally away from everyone. There was no home games. There was no fans to feed off of. It was just hoops in a gym kind of. So, yeah, I think the Celtics were pretty close, obviously. They almost had it. The one dunk away. But Bam Adebayo said no. So yeah, that's cool. And that basically is happening like what 2 years ago is what, or that happened last year and this year again. The Miami Heat and the Celtics in the conference finals. 3 of the last 4 years, the conference finals is the Celtics and Heat. That's crazy. But yeah, so I guess Jimmy Butler and LeBron James wanted to stay in the bubble the longest. They went to the championship. LeBron ability just overpowers the Miami Heat and their injuries as well. Actually, I believe like Bam got injured like immediately in the series, so it just goes like that sometimes. That was pretty cool to see all of that though. I was in Laughlin for a good portion of the playoffs, like maybe like a week of the playoffs, week or two of the playoffs. I say that's a good portion, but it was a good portion to me. Yeah, it was. That was pretty cool. I think it was the Rockets and Lakers series that I was in Laughlin for. That was fun. Yeah, God damn it. And then yeah, basically the Lakers were like Westbrook can't shoot, so just stay off of him. And that's literally how they won the series is by staying off of Russell Westbrook. Just for them to trade for him in 2021, and personally, I'm upset about this because LeBron just won a championship in 2020. I understand you're trying to get him the best team possible, but you gamble that for Russell Westbrook, who did not pay off, who just did. We didn't even make the playoffs. And then we were about to not make the playoffs this year as well until we traded. And Jared Vanderbilt and D'Angelo Russell and Malik Beasley are now on the Lakers, and we got to the conference finals, and that's crazy. From being like the 11th seed at the time, I think, to being the 7th seed and making the playoffs is insane. I don't know how they did that, and that was without LeBron for a good portion. So yeah, the Russell Westbrook trade I hold in low regard, and not a great trade in my opinion. I will go as far to say is it wasted 2 years of LeBron James's career. Maybe injuries did that, and maybe it's not Russell Westbrook's fault. I can see that. I could see me being wrong, and I would totally admit to that. But yeah, I just wish that the Lakers would have just made one big playoff push with Russell Westbrook, or have not traded for him and tried something else and get other role players or something before wasting 2 years or a year and a half. But yeah, it is what it is. They went to the conference finals this year, and I mean you can only go up. As long as you re-sign Rui Hachimura, re-sign Austin Reeves, maybe I would look for a better package for D'Angelo Russell. But I would totally be happy with re-signing D'Angelo Russell, D'Lo, Ice in the Veins, obviously. A great, amazing player, but he just didn't pull it off for us this year. So yeah, no, I wouldn't mind having him back. But if I can upgrade, I would like an upgrade. I'm sorry. Especially with knowing that Dennis Schroeder and D'Angelo Russell are the point guards, I would like a point guard upgrade. Together, they are great. Um, but I believe like the two of them make up one star point guard, and not like them playing on the court together makes one star point guard because they're two players, and that's not how that works. But like their stats and their impact on the court combined equal to one star player, and I would like that star player over that option. But that's not to say that I don't like D'Angelo Russell and Dennis Schroeder. I just believe that they lack in consistency, and I would like a little bit more consistency on the Los Angeles Lakers. Every single time I've seen them for the last 3 years, it's just an up and down battle. It was pretty cool seeing them in 2020 though, because that was not an up and down battle. That was them being very dominant. I mean, I think they had 50 wins in a shortened season. So I mean, they were almost on pace for like a 60 win team, I believe, before the COVID bubble happened. Um, I don't know if they would have won 60 games, but I mean, they were pretty damn close. They were like, I think they had like 51 wins or something like that, or 50 wins. And only the Bucks also had 50 wins. Unfortunately, the Bucks also did not make it. I think the Miami Heat ended up beating the Bucks, and that's where all the Giannis outrage came, and was like, man, where's Giannis's ability to make the NBA Finals just for him to win a championship the very next year? So good on Giannis. That was pretty cool to see the Lakers get like 50 wins. I think the stat was 52-0 when leading into the fourth quarter for the Lakers that year, which is insane. Yeah, 52-0. And that just goes for LeBron teams. I think when he was like on the 2017 or 2016 Cavs, I think they had a similar record where it was like 51-1. For when leading into the third quarter or fourth quarter. When leading into the fourth quarter, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers were like 51-1 for the season. And so finally LeBron perfected that stat in Los Angeles and went 52-0, which is absolutely insane. Just for the record, going 52-0 when leading into the fourth quarter. Like, oh yeah, I'm already winning most of the game. Try coming back. I dare you. And just literally winning every single time, and never letting any team come back in the fourth quarter. That's crazy. That's crazy. And so, also, while all of this was happening, maybe in like 2019, 2019, because it was 2K19, is when I started playing 2K. So I started playing NBA 2K. And that really opened my mind to how you use NBA players on a court, like how a coach would. 2K19 was just me like fucking around and learning all of the controls and all of the things like that, and learning what builds people make for their my career. And that was all I played, was my career. I just did my career games all the time, took dabs, smoked some weed, and just played my career. But in 2K20, like the very next year, is when it like clicked in my head of what I could use 2K my career for. And what clicked was how a coach uses a superstar player. So I had a sharpshooting playmaker on 2K20. That was my career player, sharpshooting playmaker. I think that's what most people make, and that's what I mean is like that's the upgrade that I want on the Los Angeles Lakers is a point guard, because LeBron is playing the point guard most of the time, and he wants to be the forward, not the point guard. Anthony Davis wants to be the forward and not the center, but he's the center. LeBron is playing the point guard, and so when you do that, and then you fill the roster with wings that are shorter than LeBron and Anthony Davis, you get a team that the opposing team will fight with bigger players, 7-footers. Doesn't matter if they're good players or not. They just need a big body out there to stop the other big bodies, LeBron and Anthony Davis. And that was what was like clicking for me, was how roster layout for teams. So, yeah, you put a star point guard on the Los Angeles Lakers, and they should be a championship team. You play Anthony Davis at the center, even though he doesn't like to. You get a backup center for when he really, really doesn't like to. You get LeBron James to be the forward by getting a star point guard and a star wing as well, and you have a championship team. I believe that's a championship team of let's say Jamal Murray. You put Jamal Murray where Dennis Schroeder is, or D'Angelo Russell, like the starting point guard on the team. Jamal Murray is a 30 point scorer per game, as well as being 50, 40, 90 like most of the time. That's insane shooting splits, and you have a championship team because LeBron and Anthony Davis can be the shot blockers, the rim protectors, while LeBron can also be the point guard, and Anthony Davis can also be a wing or forward, and LeBron can be the wing or the forward. And you have versatility in LeBron and Anthony Davis, of them being able to play almost every position, with Anthony Davis being able to ball handle and still run the offense sometimes, to lead to a LeBron 2 points or something like that. And most of the time it's the other way around, though, where LeBron is leading the offense and it leads to an Anthony Davis a bucket, Anthony Davis 2 points. And when you have other people to play off of that, specifically good wings and guards, and a backup center, you have versatility. You have that in your team. And you might lack some depth, but where you lack in depth, you gain from just having LeBron and Anthony Davis. So, yeah, that's kind of how it goes. And so I kind of like played with that on other teams. Like you put a star, because my career is all about building your player, and it's always going to go to a 99 overall. You just have a star player. So that's what I mean. Like if you just put a star point guard on the Lakers, they are a championship team. If you just put a star center on the Warriors, they are a championship team. I literally think that they have the star point guard, they have the star wings. They just don't have the center. They just don't have a reliable center that can just do the things that they want to. Like if you put Joel Embiid on the Warriors are unstoppable, just unstoppable. If you put Anthony Davis on the Warriors, they are unstoppable. If you put Steph Curry on the Bucks with Giannis, unstoppable. And so this is what I learned with the roster layout and playing on 2K. And so that's where I started to think about, okay, now what can I really learn? And that was coaching. I have arthritis. I'm not going to be able to be a star player in the NBA. That's just not happening. I'm 5'7". I have a bad hip and a bad knee, and I'm never going to be able to play at an NBA level. That's just not going to happen. So I will absolutely settle for being an NBA announcer. I would love to be the next Chick Hearn or Mike Breen, just that's a dream of mine. Like, that is genuinely my life goal, is to be the new NBA announcer for the Los Angeles Lakers. And if I can't specifically be the announcer for the Los Angeles Lakers, then I would just like to be an announcer / analyst, like Mike Breen, to just the famous announcer that you think of when you're just watching an NBA game. I want to be that. Another dream that is more unrealistic of me is that I want to be an NBA coach, and I'm 23. I've only been kind of keeping up with basketball here and there until the last like 3 or 4 years. So the last 3 or 4 years is when I started really deep diving into basketball. So it's kind of hard for someone who just started learning about basketball to just be like, yeah, I'm going to be an NBA coach. So obviously I know those are high aspirations, and that's not entirely realistic of me, but I don't care. I still want that to happen. I still want to be an NBA coach. But if I'm never an NBA coach in my entire life, I'm not going to be sad about it, because I just know how difficult that is. And again, I would settle for being an NBA announcer any day of the week and twice on Sundays. But so I just wanted to learn what I could through 2K about coaching. And so that was matching players with other players, roster building. And so now what I have gotten into this year is actual strategy. Okay, now that I have this, if I don't have this roster that I'm trying to make, how can I make the most out of whatever team I have? And that's what NBA coaches do, is they make the most with what they have. They don't get Steph Curry and Giannis on the same team. They just don't get Steph Curry and Anthony Davis on the same team. Like, you just don't get someone like that. You don't. That just doesn't happen. You don't get LeBron and Luka on the same team. That's just like, yeah, of course you want that as a coach, but that's just not happening. And so you can do that with 2K, and that makes it a lot easier. And that's what I was kind of doing with roster building. And so now what I've learned is that I have to not only do roster building, but do strategy, full strategy of, okay, I have this player that can do this. I have this player that can do this. I have this player that can do this. How do I maximize these players on the offensive and defensive side? I can't tell you. I can't tell you just how to always use players like that. That's what I'm currently in the process of learning. Again, I'm only 23, so I think I got some time. But yeah, so like LeBron is amazing two-way player, just amazing on defense and amazing on offense. Can do absolutely everything. Anthony Davis is good on both ends, amazing on offense, amazing at defense. Joel Embiid, amazing on both ends. Just Nikola Jokic is better on the offensive side than the defensive side. But not to say that he is bad on the defensive side, because he's still a 7-foot giant who's big and burly and can't be moved as easily as say a wing, or not a 7-footer, not a 7-foot center. So yeah, like Nikola Jokic's offense is just that good that it just outweighs his defense. Steph Curry's offense outweighs his defense, and not because Steph Curry is bad at defense, because that man is also actually pretty big and burly. You may not look like Steph Curry is one of the buffest dudes on the planet, but that is one of the buffest dudes on the planet. He's 6'1" and probably like 220 actually. He's benching with the big boys, like with the centers. The 7-foot center is benching like 400 pounds. Steph Curry is very buff actually. And so he is pretty good on the defensive side. I think the 2022 championship really showed that. But it's just that he's such an offensive power that it offsets his defensive capabilities. And so yeah, that I'm currently in the process of learning how to do that. So like what Darvin Ham is doing with the Lakers, He has Dennis Schroeder playing a lot for defensive capabilities. Dennis Schroeder is very good on the defensive end. D'Angelo Russell is very good on the offensive end. So you put him in when you really just need a bucket or something. Austin Reeves, pretty decent on the defensive end, but actually he's very good on the offense. I can't believe what he's done in the playoffs this year. Just absolutely amazing, Austin Reeves. And obviously Anthony Davis and LeBron I already talked about, great on both ends. I think if you put Dwight Howard on the Los Angeles Lakers and you get a star point guard, the Lakers are immediately a championship team. Just a star point guard and add Dwight Howard as their backup center. They won in 2020 with Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. Get JaVale McGee back as well. I think if you got JaVale McGee back and Dwight Howard back, the Lakers would be in a lot better position than they are right now. And that's saying a lot because they literally made the conference finals this year. So, that's just how it goes. But yeah, so to go more into these things, I'd like to talk about some coaches and things like that I really enjoy. Darvin Ham has been coaching the Lakers this year. I think he leans on Dennis Schroeder a little bit too much, so I'm not particularly a fan of Darvin Ham. But he's not bad. I'm not going to say that he's a bad coach and I want him fired or I want him traded or whatever. He's doing an okay job. We made the conference finals. I'm not upset. I think Frank Vogel was better though. I think Frank Vogel was a better coach. He was better on the defensive end. And I think that's why we had JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard that year in 2020 was because of him. Other current coaches that I like are definitely going to be Eric Spoelstra. I can't believe what he's done with the Miami Heat. He is the epitome to me. He is the epitome of taking your team to as far as you can go with what you have. Not saying hey, I need a superstar. Hey, I need a LeBron James, a Kevin Durant, or whatever. Jimmy Butler is that kind of player, and he believes in Jimmy Butler, and he ran the offense and defense through him and Bam, and figured out a way to make Max Strus and Gabe Vincent and Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero all very valuable on his team. And it's insane. I genuinely can't believe it. Basically, I guess you just have Jimmy and Bam run the offense. You have Jimmy and Bam persuade the defense to come to them to free up your Gabe Vincent and Max Strus and Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson and whatnot. So I guess I have a fundamental understanding, but I really don't. I don't know how Eric Spoelstra gets this team so far every single year. Genuinely, I always underestimate the Miami Heat, and time again, Jimmy Butler and the Heat proved me wrong. Eric Spoelstra and the Miami Heat just proved me wrong. Other teams include the Boston Celtics with Joe Mazzulla, and even last year, Ime Udoka. I know a lot of people won't talk about him after what he's done for the Celtics, but still, rookie coach going straight into the conference finals, amazing. Just for them to do it the very next year with Joe Mazzulla and make it to the conference finals. And they've made it to the conference finals in 3 of the last 4 years. Maybe 4 out of the last 5 years. Something like that. I don't know. I just know that they have gone to the conference finals a lot since 2017, I want to say. Which is absolutely insane. How do you do that? Brad Stevens, who was the coach before Ime Udoka, I believe. And he was promoted to the executive. Kind of like Pat Riley. Pat Riley's another coach, player, executive, that manager that just knows basketball, that just fundamentally knows basketball to win and make a championship team time and time again. incredible, absolutely incredible. Paul Westhead and Pat Riley and Jack McKinney and all the Lakers coaches in the 80s that just brought every finals appearance and brought every championship home. That's absolutely amazing. Phil Jackson, obviously, Phil Jackson coaching 3 of the last 3 peats. I don't even know how to comprehend. How do you, as a coach, just decide, you know what? We're going to win 3 championships in a row. And not only are we going to win 3 championships in a row, I'm going to do it 3 times with 2 of the greatest basketball players to ever touch a basketball, with Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. And being that Kobe Bryant is a carbon copy of Michael Jordan, you don't have Kobe Bryant without Michael Jordan. It is absolutely insane to me that Phil Jackson goes and coaches Michael Jordan to 2 three-peats. Then, not 2 years later, he now coaches Shaq and Kobe to another three-peat. What? How? Then he coaches Kobe again to a back-to-back championship, almost a three-peat, a 3-year finals run that culminated in 2 wins and 1 loss, but 3 finals appearances in a row. It's almost incomprehensible to someone who just watches basketball to just be able to be like, yeah, I'm going to coach the greatest basketball players ever into winning the most amount of championships possible. And I wish to be at that level instinctively in basketball. To just, like, how? Moving on from the people that I'm just absolutely astonished by, I would also like to mention Paul Silas, Lenny Wilkins, Chuck Daly, Don Nelson, Larry Brown, Alvin Gentry, George Karl, Jeff Van Gundy, Stan Van Gundy, Danny Ainge, Mike D'Antoni, Byron Scott, all just incredible coaches that really just knew how to make the most out of their team and what they had. And I want to be there. I want to be at that kind of level, intellectually and instinctively in basketball. It's amazing. Current coaches still Steve Kerr, obviously, also a student of Phil Jackson, and even Greg Popovich. And Greg Popovich, another coach that is just like, I don't know how he does it. He has literally been in playoff contention for over 20 years, and that barely stopped last year, let's call it like 2 years ago. And now he's going to be in playoff contention again, hopefully, with Wembanyama, which is absolutely insane. I don't know how old Greg Popovich is, but he's just been absolutely incredible his entire career. Like, that is the epitome of what an NBA coach should strive for, is Greg Popovich. And so, yeah, Steve Kerr is honestly very close along. I mean, he also has a lot of finals appearances and championships due to Steph Curry and the offense that he built around him. That pass first just mentality of that team really gets open shots, and it's really cool. Tyronn Lue coaching LeBron was actually pretty good. A lot of people were probably going to say that LeBron was really the coach and Tyronn Lue was just, there having fun. But I promise, I know that Tyronn Lue is a good coach. He is intellectually capable of being an NBA coach, and no knock against him. It's just that, when you're coaching one of the greatest players of all time in LeBron James, you assume that LeBron James probably knows more about basketball than you. And Jason Kidd obviously has a ton of NBA IQ, high NBA IQ. I don't know why I couldn't say that. And now he's a coach, and that's pretty cool. Not bad. Not that good either, I guess, with Luka Doncic, but I'm assuming that he just wants better picks or something. they just kind of tanked this year or something. And Luka Doncic will probably be back in playoff contention the very next year. This very next year. Monty Williams, I know, just got fired as a coach, but he's not bad either. Like I don't. Um, I think the NBA executives or whoever, the NBA GMs or whatever, aren't giving enough credit to NBA coaches and immediately think that if you're not winning a championship in 1 or 2 years, you're not a good coach. And that's just impossible. There are 30 NBA teams, and there are not 30 NBA championship coaches on the planet that can coach right now at the same time. That's not happening. You might get a lot, actually. You might get 15 or 20, but you will not be getting all 30 NBA teams with NBA championship level coaches. And that's just the reality that we live in. So I think it is very absurd to just fire a coach if he hasn't won a championship in like 2 years, 3 years, because you haven't given him time. You haven't given him the proper situations and scenarios to be able to pull that off. You just kind of gave him a couple chances, and you're like, all right, cool, done. I don't agree with that. If I was an NBA coach, I would want at least like 5 years minimum to try and win an NBA championship with the whatever I got, and making changes here and there across the off seasons, but for the most part, trying to keep continuity, and that's just I think it's absurd that they're not given at least like 5 years minimum to figure this whole thing out. I think a lot more NBA coaches would have that ability, given that time. And I'm sure that that's how NBA coaches were before, in the 80s and 70s and 90s, and I wasn't alive to actually see that, but I'm pretty sure that coaches stuck around longer than only 2 or 3 years. Yeah, there might be exceptions. I might be wrong, and that's okay. But yeah, I just think that they probably did stick around long. Now that I've got that off my chest, and now that I've told you my dreams and aspirations of being an NBA announcer or being an NBA coach, I'd like to wrap this up by giving a few perfect NBA team ideas, NBA coach team suggestions, and any NBA rule ideas I have. Not really many. I do agree with Jeff Van Gundy. I believe he said this like a month ago or something like that, where the fouls kind of get pretty overwhelming when you're fouling like 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a row. And eventually you want to just be like, bro, just give them the penalty and give them the points. Don't even do the free throws. So I agree with Jeff Van Gundy on that part and that part alone. That, if you are in the bonus and you are still fouling and you're just constantly shooting free throws for like an entire quarter, at that point just award the points and penalize the other team by not even making them have to do free throws, because that's ridiculous. I understand that there are players that you need to do that to, like LeBron James or Giannis, or just big physical players that sometimes you just need to foul them a lot because you can't defend them. But bro, if you're just literally like fouling out third quarter because you just can't guard this man, like, just stop. Just chill. Get someone else. Switch. Something. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't think I actually have any other NBA rule ideas. Maybe the dribbling. I know that a lot of NBA players do carries. I think that if it's egregious, absolutely call it. Like if they're holding the ball sideways, call it. But if it's like a quick, dribble and the ball goes up to their chest and they kind of have the ball sideways, but then they dribble and cross or something immediately after. I understand. Go. Just keep the ball in play. But if I see NBA players standing at midcourt, like literally at the half court line, just bouncing the ball to their shoulders, yeah, you should probably call a carry. I've already loved what the NBA is doing with the 3 point line fouls. A lot of NBA players have found ways to exploit fouls for the 3 point line, and they're really cracking down on that, and I appreciate that. I don't like to see uh, three free throws awarded to someone who just kicked out their leg or bumped their shoulder or did some weird shooting motion to award himself that foul. I just don't like that. As for NBA team ideas, I'm gonna start with the Los Angeles Lakers because that's the team that I like the most. And yeah, I think I mentioned this before, but if you put Dwight Howard on the Los Angeles Lakers right now because he's in Taiwan, so I mean, come on, put him back in the NBA. Back on the Los Angeles Lakers, that would be very beneficial for Anthony Davis. I think if you upgraded the point guard position to, maybe someone of Kyrie's caliber, that would be cool. But honestly, I would rather keep D'Angelo Russell and Dennis Schroeder over Kyrie just for the sake of continuity and trust in players' ability to get better. Because I don't think D'Angelo Russell is a horrible NBA player. I think he had some inconsistency here and there, but that can be fixed. That he has the will and determination to fix that problem. Dennis Schroeder, I don't have as much belief in him, uh, because I feel like he's a little bit of a show off, but his defensive capability obviously makes up for that, and that's okay. I'm very alright with that. You get another backup shooting guard, maybe that might be fine, or a backup wing, like a bench wing or a bench guard that elevates the Lakers. Like Seth Curry. Seth Curry would be a very good addition. I think he's a free agent this year, and he would be a very good bench shooting guard behind Austin Reeves, and that would elevate them a lot. LeBron is a very drive-heavy player, so Seth Curry would thrive against or on a team with LeBron. I mean, LeBron just opens up those 3 point shots, no problem. And with Anthony Davis, even better. Like the Warriors also suffer from the same problem where they need a very good center um, to relieve them of some defensive things that they're doing, because all the guards and wings and even their center Kevon Looney are doing amazing on defense, and that's not anything against them, but it's ruining their motor on offense, and they're losing energy third, fourth quarter, and they can't play defense the same because they just don't have the energy, and they also can't play offense the same because they don't have the energy. So if you get a very good shot blocking rim protector for the Warriors to relieve Kevon Looney of such stress on the team, of such defensive stress on the team, and even the rest of the wings like Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and even Steph Curry, that the Warriors will have a lot more energy on offense to do the Warriors offense things of just creating 3 point shots out of nowhere, and the defense will just be there with another shot blocking rim protector, another center to relieve Kevon Looney of such demand on the defensive end. Alternatively, and just as easily, you could put a star guard on the 76ers or the Bucks, and they are championship contenders. And I know James Harden is on the 76ers, but again, inconsistent. That I would like an upgrade or at least more consistency. Um, that's how I feel about D'Angelo Russell right now. He's capable. He's absolutely capable of going off for 35 points, 40 points, or something. 10 assists, and yeah, it's possible. But we need that game in and game out, and that's not happening in its current form. So both D'Angelo Russell and James Harden need to either step up their game or figure out a more consistent way to get like 25 and 8 or like 25 and 7 or something. As simple as that. And you have more of a championship team. And that's just statistically, obviously, that's like on paper. Let's say James Harden still does get 25 and 8 every single game. Um, Unless the role players or the other guys, like Tyrese Maxey and everyone else, that they need to also step up and be consistent as well. Um, Not just two players can single-handedly win a championship for you. I think the Lakers prove that LeBron James and Anthony Davis are an amazing powerhouse and duo in the NBA. But they alone cannot win 16 games in the postseason all by themselves. It's just not. It's just not happening. So yeah, those are a couple like roster layouts. Very easy, obviously. That like a couple roster layouts that I can think of that would make a certain team just like absolutely amazing. Well, I guess I said that James Harden, D'Angelo Russell need to step it up, but no, yeah, I'm not sure if you put another guard like what Trae Young. You put Trae Young on the 76ers. Are they now a championship contending team? Or DeJounte Murray, for that matter? I don't think DeJounte Murray moves the needle that much. But Trae Young, I could imagine. Trae Young almost gets you 30 and 10 every single night. Pair that next to James Harden. I could see that. I can see that. I could see that working out very well. Kyrie and Luka and the Mavericks, yeah, they just need a really, really good center. And I mean like a really good center. Like Joel Embiid. If you put Joel Embiid on the Mavericks, maybe even take away Kyrie Irving and just have Luka Doncic and Joel Embiid on the Mavericks, I think you have a very good championship contending team. Throw Kyrie in there and you have an unstoppable three-man team that might be reminiscent of LeBron, AD, and Russell Westbrook. But I think Kyrie Irving is a little bit better than Russell Westbrook. Also won't be paying him $44 million a year like they were paying Russell Westbrook. And yeah, as long as Kyrie Irving doesn't take a $30-40 million a year contract, I think he is perfect to sign on. He is absolutely perfect for the Mavericks or the Lakers. I would prefer if he was on the Lakers, if he was again more consistent and less off the court, in the media and causing a ruckus and whatnot, which is more the media's fault and not Kyrie's fault. But I would I would just take it upon myself to really try to not say anything in public, like at all times, if the media just ran with my name like that. But that's just me personally. I could be wrong. I totally accept that fact. And yeah, I'm sorry Kyrie Irving has to deal with all of that media in the first place. But yeah, so those were a couple roster layouts. Maybe a little bit biased towards those upper teams like the Lakers, Warriors, Bucks, and Mavericks. But that's just who I think already has a good amount of depth, and you literally just add one, two pieces, and boom, the championship team. I mean, the Celtics just went to the conference finals. The Miami Heat just made it to the finals. They just need that one more thing. in order to take that next level. The Lakers just made the conference finals. They just need that one more thing to take it to the next level. So I hope that re-signing process is very clutch this offseason for the Lakers. Please re-sign Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura and D'Angelo Russell. And I would also take back Dennis Schroeder. I think he's a free agent next year, not this year. Malik Beasley, I guess, is also fine as long as he finally commits to being 40% three-point shooter like he normally is. I don't know what happened this year. Every time a shooter comes to the Lakers, they just collapse. But no, I'm sure Malik Beasley can bring it back and return to his former self and his standards. And we need those 40% three-point shooters. So with Malik Beasley, I know Seth Curry is a free agent this offseason, so maybe if we could pick up Seth Curry, that would be a very nice compliment to LeBron James. Always need just the catch-and-shoot three-point shooters for LeBron James. I don't know who else. Didn't J.J. Redick say that he wanted to go back to the NBA? I would absolutely love if J.J. Redick was on the Lakers. And again, another catch-and-shoot three-point shooter that'll just... LeBron James can finally convert on those assists like he was in 2020. I mean, the man averaged 10.2 assists for the year. That's insane. Yeah, if you had just like two shooters to the Lakers that LeBron can convert on at least like 4 more assists per game, and he's already averaging like 6 to 7. So yeah. Anyways, this was basketball today, and please tune in next week. Not next week. Next week. These come out every 2 weeks. But please stay tuned for the next episode as well. I already forgot what I'm going to talk about because I'm high, but that's besides the point. You will find out what the title in 2 weeks. Thank you very much.